Hi, my name is Conrad Tao, and I was a 2011 YoungArts finalist in music and a 2011 Presidential Scholar in the Arts. A typical week for me is pretty atypical. For me, it's a mixture of classes, lessons, practicing when I can, practicing as much as I can whenever I can, and performing. I'm really lucky that I get to work already as a concert pianist, and so I perform on average between 40 and 50 concerts a year. And so, you know, managing all that with schoolwork and lessons and practicing, it can be difficult, but it's also so much fun, and it's so exciting for me to be a part of everything at once. When I first traveled to Moscow in September of 2009, I had another really special experience. I was performing in the Bolshoi Theater, and I gave a concert. I was playing with an orchestra, and I finished my piece, and I gave my encore. I came on stage, I played one more piece, and you know, people were really wonderful, really responsive, and really warm and friendly. And then I went off stage, and you know, I thought I was done because normally we just do one encore and then we're kind of finished. And then the audience didn't stop clapping. So, because we all thought we were done, the orchestra walks off stage as well, and then the audience continues clapping. And in Europe they clap in rhythm, and they just continuously clap in rhythm, and I didn't know what to do because the stage was completely empty. So I ended up going back on stage after about like four or 5 minutes of this madness and playing one more piece. And that was such an amazing moment for me because it was just so touching and such a great indicator that what I was doing spoke to people. So last December, I wake up in the morning, I'm in my dorm room, and I get an email from my manager, and it's nothing really. It's just, have you seen this? And a link. And I click on the link, and the first thing I see is a gigantic picture of Mac Miller. And I'm a little bit confused because, you know, I'm not ever used to being mentioned in the same breath as Mac Miller, let alone as I keep scrolling down this page, Nicki Minaj, Adele, Rihanna, Lady Gaga, and then I see my name. And I think, if I remember correctly, it was between Taylor Swift and the two people who founded Spotify. And I was so shocked because I realized what this was, and it was a list that Forbes had put together called the 30 Under 30 in the music business, and I was so amazed to see my name there. And I think I was one of the younger people on the list, but most importantly, I was the only classical musician on the list. And I remember that felt like an amazing honor. And it was so special to get recognition from a place I never expected to have recognition from. The best thing about recording Eyelids for me, which was, you know, my album, my electropop what have you album, was that it was basically doing a new thing. And I think I started creating music on GarageBand, electronic music, and just like so-called pop composition because I was trying to learn a new instrument, really. I've always wanted to play as many instruments as possible, but I've never been good at learning how to play guitar or a bass or anything because they have different tunings and different things that are just really hard for me as someone who's always played the piano and the violin to get my hands around. And electronic music seems so weirdly accessible, and the possibilities were so limitless. And I've grown up with the internet, and I've grown up consuming everything, and I've grown up as a result having a huge spectrum of influences on just who I am as a person and as an artist. And I felt that recording a pop album made a lot of sense. You know, in 5, 10, 15 years, I hope to be doing what I'm doing today. I hope to be still performing and still composing music, and most importantly, I hope that I'm still enjoying it as much as I do today. But I also really want to reach new audiences and to continue trying to reach new audiences always, because I think it's so easy to just become satisfied with the audience that's already made for you. And I'm working in a field that's, you know, a lot of people would probably characterize it as having an older audience, and certainly classical musicians have been hearing the whole proclamation that classical music is dead for about 50 years now. And I think that for me, as a young classical musician who's grown up in a modern era and has embraced every new technology that's ever come out, I think that I don't think that what I do and today, 2012, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. And I think that what I care so much about, which is my art, can be communicated with tons of people, and more people than it's being communicated with now. I think what I would say to emerging artists would be, don't think about what other people are doing. You know, I think care about what people think, care about what your friends say, and care about what, you know, people think of what you're doing, but never think about what you should be doing, never think about what other people around you are already creating. Because the most wonderful thing about being young and being an artist is that you are in a place to do something that no one's ever done before.